house I investigate contains the same untouched room. I've been a structural damage assessor for going on 10 years now. The job is exactly what it sounds like. A building gets destroyed, whether it's a fire, flood, gas, explosion, structural collapse, whatever. And once the emergency crews are done and the scene is cleared, and everyone who had feelings about the building had gone home to have those feelings somewhere else, I go in. I walk the structure and document what's standing and what isn't. I file a report that tells the county, the contractor, or the insurance company whether the building can be salvaged or needs to come down. I go in alone, I come out alone, I write the report, and I move on to the next one. 10 years of that, dozens of destroyed buildings. It doesn't get to you the way people expect. It goes the other way. After a while, a destroyed building is just a destroyed building. You stop seeing what it used to be, and you start seeing the load-bearing walls and the path of least resistance through something that's trying to fall. I'm telling you all of this now because I need someone else to know. The first house was in February. A gas leak took out the kitchen and most of the ground floor and left the upstairs looking like nothing happened except for the smoke damage on the ceiling and the way every window was blown out. I've seen it 100 times. The explosion travels the path of least resistance and everything above it just sits there, intact, structurally sound and completely exposed. I documented the ground floor, noted the compromised load-bearing wall on the north side, and went upstairs to check the structural integrity of the second floor. 3 bedrooms. 2 of them were what I expected, smoke damage with cracked drywall where the ceiling had shifted, and furniture thrown around from the blast pressure. The 3rd bedroom at the end of the hall was untouched, a made bed with a dark green comforter pulled tight, a nightstand with a glass of water and an ashtray, a pack of cigarettes next to the lighter. I noted in my report, structurally sound room, personal effects undisturbed, recommend contents evaluation before demolition. I photographed it and moved on. I didn't think about it again. Not until the second house. The second house was in March. This one was an electrical fire on the east side of the county in an older neighborhood. The fire started in the walls and gutted the structure from the inside before anyone smelled smoke. By the time the trucks arrived, there wasn't much left of the first floor or the east wing. The west wing was standing. I went through the west wing room by room, documented the smoke penetration, the heat damage to the ceiling hoists, and the way the floor was soft in 3 spots where the subfloor had been compromised. At the end of the hall there was a bedroom. I opened the door. A made bed with a dark green comforter pulled tight, a nightstand with a glass of water and an ashtray, a pack of cigarettes next to the lighter. I stood in the doorway for a moment. Then I look out my phone and looked at the photos from the February house. Same comforter, same ashtray, same arrangement on the nightstand. I did what any reasonable person would do, which was try to talk myself out of it. Dark green comforters are common, cheap lighters and ashtrays are common. A lot of smokers keep their cigarettes on their nightstand. Coincidence, old housing stock, similar taste and decor, nothing unusual. The third house was in April. Floor damaged from a burst main downtown, one of those narrow 3-story buildings that used to be commercial on the ground floor and residential above. The ground floor was gutted. The first and second floors had significant water damage, warped floors, compromised drywall, and mold already starting in the corners. The third door at the end of the hall. I opened the door and I felt something tighten in my chest. The same goddamn room. But the bed wasn't made as tightly this time. The comforter was pulled up, but there was a slight depression in the pillow, like someone had been lying there and gotten up and made the bed quickly, not quite smoothing everything back. And the ashtray had a cigarette in it, half smoked. The ash was intact, like it had been set down and left there. I took photographs for a long time. I measured the room. I checked the wallpaper pattern against my photos from the previous 2 houses. The same faded patch near the window, the same place where the paper had lifted slightly at the seam near the door. I went home and I Googled the wallpaper pattern. It was discontinued in 1987. The manufacturer doesn't exist anymore. I filed my report. I decided not to mention the room. I didn't sleep well that night. The 4th house was in May. I almost didn't go in. I sat in my truck in front of the building for 15 minutes before I could make myself open the door. Fire damage, residential outer edge of the county, single family home. I went through the motions on the lower floors, documented everything, took my photos, wrote notes in shorthand. Upstairs, at the end of the hall, I opened the door. Of course, the same fucking everything, except the mattress. I know my own mattress. I bought it 4 years ago after my back started giving me trouble from a pinched nerve. It was my mattress. I tried to think about all the reasonable explanations. I couldn't find one. I took a photo of the mattress tag. I went home and checked my own mattress tag. It was the same model, same manufacture date. I poured myself a drink and sat at my kitchen table for a long time. Then I told myself there were probably thousands of those mattresses in the county and went to bed. The 5th house was last week. I knew before I opened the door at the end of the hall. I'd known since the 4th house that this was where it was going. I opened the door anyway. Some part of me needed to see it. The room was mine. Completely. The landscape print I've had since my mom died, and I kept it because she gave it to me, not because I like it. The specific bleach stain on the fitted sheet from the summer when I spilled cleaning solution and didn't notice until laundry day. All of it. In a destroyed building in the east side, in a room that smelled like clover. The bed was occupied. I couldn't see a face. The figure was on its side, turned away, the comforter pulled up, but I could see it was my build, my hair on the pillow, the way I sleep when I'm exhausted, one arm tucked under it. I stood in that doorway for a long time. Then I closed the door and very quietly walked back down the hall and out of the building and got in my truck. I drove home. I'm writing this from my kitchen table. It's 11 o'clock at night. I came home tonight, walked upstairs, stood at my bedroom doorway. I looked at my room for a long time. The bed is made. I never make my bed. The nightstand is clear. No charger cable, no glass of water, no clutter. The bleach-stained sheet is gone. The landscape print of my mom landscape print my mom gave me is gone. The mattress is made up with sheets I don't recognize, tucked tight at the corners. My bedroom looks like a room nobody lives in. It looks like the room I found the first time, untouched, like someone just stepped out. I don't know where I've been sleeping. I don't know how long I've been gone. I'm going to call my friend Dave tomorrow. We're supposed to get beers Saturday anyway. I think I just need someone to tell me I seem like myself. Let's read a few comments because that was crazy. Maybe something is trying to tell you that your house is going to be destroyed somehow soon. Take this as a warning, maybe. I'd be careful if I were you. Good luck and keep us posted. Someone else said, sorry. Da, 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 da. I think you're wandering through multiple timelines. Your bedroom seems to be the anchor point. Have there been clues outside these rooms but in damaged have there been clues outside these rooms but in the damaged buildings? I don't know. I don't know what to think. If it's true, yeah, I think he's fucking with some other dimension. Some dimension right next to ours, or some alternate universe, I mean, but like the one right next to ours. I'm talking like that's real. It's a theory. Okay. Excuse me. Let's do a second one. I responded to an ad called Sitter Wanted. They meant it literally, and I'm not going to be stupid and break the only rule. I've done babysitting jobs before. Quick way to make some cash without working too much. When I saw the ad on some forum, the high pay attracted me immediately. Sitter Wanted, Friday night from midnight to 4 a.m. I like that the hours were fixed in the offer, so I wouldn't wait too much for the parents to come home and end up staying longer than we initially agreed on. Some parents were fucking scammers, man, always promising to come home earlier than they did, refusing to pay me for the extra time. The ad was simple but mentioned nothing about kids. I called the number mentioned, and upon being asked about the children, the voice on the other end went silent. There is no child, ma'am. I just want you to sit on this chest for a while. What do you mean? I mean sit on it for 4 hours so the thing inside doesn't come out. Do you believe in demons? No, not really. Even better. I was cursed a while ago and I keep getting chests or boxes in the mail since. If I open them, there's nothing inside. But if they're not blocked, something weird comes out of them at night. That's how my last boyfriend went missing. I didn't believe in that, and I woke up one day to find the chest open and empty and him gone. I really don't know what else to tell you because that's all I know. I'll just mail the package to you. You don't even have to come to my house. You can literally mail it back in the morning. You won't have to sit on it every night, just when I'm going out and can't sit on it myself. I honestly thought it was a little funny. We met in some park and she showed me the chest. I inspected it, opened it, it was empty, turned it around to look for hidden cameras, mics, anything that might be shady. It was a simple wooden chest with nothing to show and nothing to hide. I took it home. I sat on it shortly before midnight on my phone. I was a little curious, but I wasn't going to fuck around. I would sit on it from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. for $200. End of discussion. Sure, easiest $200 ever made. I sat down on the wooden lid and watched reels on my phone. The chest was oddly warm, and at some point around 1 a.m. I could feel a murmur inside. It vibrated slightly. It was a little exciting, I won't lie. Exciting. Around 2 a.m. I heard a knock from the inside of the chest. I turned off my phone. Had I imagined it? It didn't come again, but it still made me feel uneasy. I was beginning to doze off, so I played some bullshit game on my phone to remain awake. At around 3:44 a.m. I got a text from the woman who posted the ad, asking me if anything strange happened. No, it was fine. Okay, well, you can get up now. I wanted to wait until 4 a.m. hit just to be sure. I did well because the next day the owner of the chest claimed to not have sent any text at all. Surely enough, I checked the text I'd supposedly gotten that night. Was gone. Had I hallucinated it? Wow, it had tried to trick me. to get up earlier. Smart. Over the next 5 months, I sat, not babysat, 15 other times. The woman explained that sometimes she got another chest in the mail, and that's how she knew she could throw away the old one. If she tried to throw it away before, it just kept getting mailed back to her house. I had to sit on shoe boxes, closed baskets, a little uncomfortable. Once a sealed suitcase that made a wet shifting sound whenever I adjusted my weight. Gross. The freakiest experience I had was around gig 7 or 8 when I heard a loud thud upstairs. I live alone and it was roughly 2 a.m., but I couldn't investigate for obvious reasons. I just sat there and waited for 4 a.m. to come, so I could finally see what was going on. Nothing was out of place when I checked, nothing out of the ordinary. Another time, I heard my cat meowing from inside the box. Well, Sam, I remember thinking, if you're really in there, you could wait for another hour. You won't die. After the time was up, I opened it to find nothing inside. See, I became immune to the tricks. Nothing would make me get up. Something truly demonic was going on, something I couldn't explain, but I was smart enough to not disobey. She redirected the last package to me, so I got a delivery. Inside of the package was a tiny chest box with weird paintings on the side, the kind that opens into a board. Inside I found some chess pieces. The kings and the queens had sinister faces painted on them, and their eyes freaked me out so much that I shoved them back inside and closed the lid. It's getting creative, I remember thinking. Its size allowed me to sit on it while in bed, so the effort was practically non-existent. I took it upstairs and got to work. Around 2 a.m. my doorbell rang. Nothing out of the ordinary. It rang, and then I heard desperate bangs on the door, then silence, then footsteps downstairs. I knew it was trying to trick me, but it was still freaky and odd. Thump, 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 up the stairs. I was glad I'd closed my bedroom door. It somehow made me feel safer, even if I knew that the real threat was inside the chest box I was sitting on. The footsteps stopped in the hallway. In the silence, I could make out breathing, harsh breathing. I don't know why, but it sounded like someone trying to contain their excitement. Jesus. Calm down. The threat is not real. It won't hurt you as long as you sit down. The sound of fingers tapping against my bedroom door. Blood was pounding into my ears, my chest hollow. Every breath felt like pushing a boulder up a hill. May 4 a.m. come faster, for the love of God. My doorknob turned, but the door didn't open. This was one of the worst hallucinations I've ever had. The footsteps moved downstairs in a way that reminded me of a weird, demented waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fuck me. I began breathing heavily. I called the woman. Hey, is this all hallucination, but it fucks with my head a little too much. I'll finish this gig and then I'm afraid you'll have to find someone else. I'm really sorry to hear that. Okay then, well, you have another hour to go. Yeah, you having fun at the party? Yeah, but you can still call me if you're freaked out. Just don't get up, please, no matter what. I mean, it's not an uncomfortable position since I'm literally laying in bed right now, sort of. A pause. You're laying in bed. Yeah, the rhythm downstairs increased. But how? You put it on your bed. I mean, it's a chess box, it's small. Another pause. What do you mean it's a chess box? Came the choked out question. That's what you fucking sent me. No, I sent you a cardboard box. Well, that was the package. You can't just send out a chess box. The post service wraps it up. No, it was a cardboard box with nothing inside. It was small, but definitely not a chess box. I don't know what you found inside, but I sent it empty. When did I ever send you the real thing in another bigger package? Please, for the love of God, tell me you didn't fall for it. Blood rushed into my cheeks. The waltzing downstairs continued mockingly loud and proud. You can't mail a chess box by itself, I responded, suddenly uneasy. You were not supposed to receive a chess box. What the fuck? Please tell me you didn't leave the cardboard box unattended. It was the packaging, I replied, on the verge of tears. No, 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 no. She was almost hysterical. The waltzing downstairs stopped. I remembered the cardboard box that came in the mail. It was roughly the size of the chess box inside. Every single thing I'd sat on before had been empty. I was suddenly unsure of what I'd been sitting on for the past 3 hours. What if I'd hallucinated that the real box contained another one inside? That had never happened before. Was I truly sitting on nothing now? A long, teasing whistle broke the silence. I suddenly got the urge to lock my bedroom door. If I'd left the real box unattended downstairs, shit. Or is it a trick? Did I hallucinate the call? Is it trying to make me get up? Time's almost up, but now I can hear someone going up the stairs. What do I do now? What do I do? Someone in the comments said the chess box is the real box you're supposed to be sitting on. It's tricking you. It can't run tricks in the daytime. You saw the chess box inside the bigger cardboard box during the daytime. The phone call says the chess box was never there. You can't trust what you hear between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. You heard about the chess box not being real at 3 a.m. You saw the chess box during the day, hence the chess box is real. Okay, we'll go with that. That one was a little